Let me tell you a truth that rearranged my entire reality. Every woman is speaking a second language with her body, a silent broadcast most men never learn to hear. We see the signals. A glance held a second too long, the tilt of a hip, the unconscious touch of a wrist. We see it, and we feel that primal pull, that deep hulling current in our own blood. We call it lust. We call it her vibe. We call it a green light. But brother, we are reading the cover and thinking we know the story. What if that signal isn't about you at all? What if that magnetic pull you feel isn't a connection, but a reflection? I spent years lost in that reflection, a ghost in my own life, chasing a feeling I could never quite catch, until I learned that the most captivating performance a woman ever gives is often meant for an audience of one, herself. This is about the hidden architecture of attraction. This is about the silent war fought in the space between a glance and a gesture. This is about what happens when you stop being a consumer of the signal and start understanding the source code. I used to live in that fog. I was a ghost in the machine of my own desires. I'd walk into a room and my eyes would become scanners, searching, always searching. I was a collector of glances, a hunter of smiles. A woman would laugh and toss her hair, and my whole world would narrow to that single shimmering point of light. It felt like a validation. It felt like a target I needed to hit. My confidence was a currency that fluctuated wildly based on the silent bids I thought I was receiving. A good night was a series of green lights. A bad night was a silent, empty highway. I was a puppet and I thought they were holding the strings. I built my entire sense of self on this unstable ground. I thought my value was determined in those fleeting moments of eye contact. I was a beggar at a feast, mistaking a casual smile for an invitation to sit at the head of the table. The hunger was a constant, hollow ache. It was a thirst I could never quench. I'd have what I thought was a successful encounter, a connection, a night that felt like a victory. And then, the emptiness would creep back in. The high would fade, the signal would drop, and I'd be left with the static, alone with the same hollow man in the mirror. I was trying to fill a leaky bucket, running back to the well over and over again, never realizing the problem wasn't the water, it was the bucket. The battle wasn't out there in the world of women and their mysterious smiles. The battle was inside me, a civil war between the man I was and the man I needed to become. I was fighting the wrong enemy on the wrong battlefield. I was losing a war I didn't even know I was fighting. The first crack in the wall came with a brutal, simple realization. Her body language is not a menu for you to order from. We are trained, from boyhood, to see the female form as a landscape to be explored, a puzzle to be solved. A crossed leg is a challenge. A low-cut top is an invitation. We are consumers, and we see their non-verbal communication as products on a shelf. We are wrong. That is the foundational lie. Her posture, her gaze, the way she occupies space. It is first and foremost a dialogue she's having with herself. It is a statement of her own internal weather. Is the sun out? Is a storm brewing? You are not the meteorologist. You are just a passerby feeling the rain or the heat. When you see a woman move with a certain fluid grace, when you see her command a room with her presence, you are witnessing her personal power in its raw, unedited form. It is a power that exists independent of your gaze. It is a flame that burns for its own sake. Your attraction to it is a testament to its heat, not the reason for its existence. This is the first and most difficult pill to swallow. You are not the central character in her story. You are a potential supporting actor, and the audition hasn't even started yet. This leads to the second, more unsettling truth. The most potent, magnetic, and seemingly lustful energy a woman can project is often a form of emotional armor. It is a fortress, not an open house. Think about it. What is more defensible? A woman who appears closed off, timid, and vulnerable, or a woman who radiates an unshakable, almost intimidating sense of self-possession? That confidence is a shield, that powerful direct eye contact. That is the watchman on the tower. The way she can hold her body poised and unyielding is the high wall around the castle. We mistake this display of strength for an invitation to siege the gates. We see the impenetrable fortress and think, what a glorious challenge. We fail to understand that the fortifications are not there to tempt us, but to deter us. They are a filter. They are a test. They are a way of saying, only someone who understands the nature of this structure is welcome inside. The loudest, most overt displays of sensual confidence are often deployed by women who have learned, through hard experience, that being perceived as soft, open, and accessible is dangerous. So they build a persona of untouchable fire. They become a queen on a chessboard, powerful and moving in any direction to make the pawns and knights think twice before approaching. Your job is not to storm the castle. Your job is to prove you're not another invading army. Now, let's talk about the fuel for this armor. This isn't just a psychological choice. It's a biological imperative wired into the deepest, most ancient parts of the human brain. You have to understand the concept of mate selection pressure. For the vast stretch of human history, a woman's survival and the survival of her children depended overwhelmingly on the quality of the mate she chose. A bad choice wasn't just heartbreak. It was starvation. It was exposure. It was death. This isn't a metaphor. This is a genetic memory. This primal reality has shaped the female emotional mechanism into the most sophisticated and ruthless vetting system on the planet. Her subconscious is constantly, automatically running diagnostics on every man she encounters. Is he strong? Is he capable? Is he resourceful? But more importantly, is he safe? Is he stable? Is his strength controlled, or is it a threat to her? This is the silent calculation happening behind every smile, every laugh, every seemingly casual conversation. Her body language is the external monitor for this internal system. When she seems open and receptive, it means you are passing the initial scans. When she closes off, when the shields go up, it means you have triggered a threat alert. You're being measured against a standard you cannot see, for a role you might not even know you're auditioning for. The provider, the protector, the partner. Your value is not what you say, it is what you are, and her entire biological and psychological framework is designed to detect the truth of what you are from a mile away. This is where we, as men, get lost in the funhouse mirrors. We see this powerful, armored, selectively open woman, and we make it about our own validation. We think, if I can win her, I am worthy. This is the poison. This is the leak in the bucket. You're trying to use her signal as the battery for your own self-worth. You're an emotional vampire seeking to drain her light to power your own dim bulb. And brother, she can sense it. That subconscious vetting system I told you about, it has a specific alarm for this. It's called neediness. It's called scarcity. It's the scent of a man who is not complete in himself. A man who sees a woman not as a whole person, but as a missing piece to his puzzle. That energy is repulsive at a primal biological level. It signals a liability, not an asset. It says, this man will drain my resources. He will require more emotional energy than he can provide. He is a risk to my survival. So you chase the signal, you try to mimic the right moves, you learn the pickup artist tricks, and you wonder why it feels hollow. You wonder why the connection never lasts. It's because you are building a house on a foundation of sand. You are trying to borrow a confidence you do not own. And no structure built on a borrowed foundation can ever stand for long. So what is the answer? If you cannot look to her for your value, where do you find it? The final and most important revelation. You must become the source of your own signal. You must build your own fortress. You must light your own fire. The most profound and ironic shift occurs when you stop trying to be the man you think women want, and you start becoming the man you need to be for yourself. A man with a mission that is bigger than the approval of a stranger. A man with a code. A man who builds his body not for show, but for strength and resilience. A man who cultivates his mind not to sound clever, but to understand the world. A man who builds his resources not to flaunt them, but to create a life of meaning and impact. This is what true, unshakable confidence is. It is not arrogance. It is the quiet, deep-seated knowledge that you are capable of handling whatever life throws at you. You become the rock in the river. The water, her signals, her moods, her presence or absence flows around you. You're unchanged. You're solid. You're grounded. And when you become that man, a strange and powerful thing happens. The female vetting system, that ancient, sophisticated radar, begins to ping you. Not because you're trying to be seen, but because you are simply and undeniably there. A gravitational force, a source of light and heat. You are no longer a passerby in her weather. You have your own climate. The hunger is gone. The static has faded. I walk into a room now and my eyes don't scan for validation. They see people. I see the woman who's a fortress, and I appreciate the architecture without feeling the need to conquer. I see the woman who is open, and I can engage without the desperate clawing need to secure her approval. I am no longer a ghost in the machine. I am the operator. The ache in my chest has been filled not by the attention of others, but by the respect I have for myself. The work I do in the gym is for my own health. The money I earn is for my own freedom. The knowledge I pursue is for my own understanding. I am the source. This is the ultimate armor. It is not a wall you build to keep people out. It is a foundation you pour so you can invite people in without fear of the whole structure collapsing. You become untouchable to the games because you are no longer a player on that field. You are the owner of the stadium. You learn to see the silent language not as a code to be cracked for your benefit, but as a complex, beautiful, and often defensive dance that you can now appreciate without needing to lead. You can observe the signals without being enslaved by them. You can appreciate the beauty without being destroyed by its absence. The path forward is not about learning to decode her. It is about building a you that is so solid, so real, so inherently valuable that the decryption happens automatically in your presence. Stop trying to read the hidden forces behind a lustful woman's body language. Start building the kind of man that such a force would naturally and authentically be drawn to. A man of purpose, a man of substance, a man who is complete unto himself. That is the master key. That is the end of the hunger. That is the silence after the storm. The most captivating performance a woman ever gives is for an audience of one, herself. And when you finally understand that, you're free to become the star of your own show. If this truth landed for you, if it connected with something you felt but couldn't name, then you're in the right place. This channel is for men building that foundation. Hit subscribe. Let's get to work.